The Federal Inland Revenue Service partnering with Matan, the largest players in Nigeria's market space with a membership of well over 40 million traders across the country, to collect and remit value-added tax from their members, especially those in the informal sector using a unified systems technology. This collaboration is known as VAT Direct Initiative. This is to promote the awareness of VAT collection and remittance in the marketplace and informal sector. It also simplifies VAT payments and remittance for the market space and informal sector using a purpose-built digital platform. Well, let's talk more about this. Joining me live from our Abuja studios to make us understand this better, she's the director of VAT Department at the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Dr. Lovett Ononuga. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining the program.
Thank you for having me.
Now, what is the VAT Direct Initiative, and of course, what is the role of the FIRS in actualizing this initiative?
Thank you, Tolu, once again for that question. The VAT Direct Initiative is the initiative of the Federal Inland Revenue Service to partner where we collaborate with the Market Traders Association of Nigeria, MATAN for short, to harness the VAT from their members who are the informal, especially those in the informal sector who are carrying on business in vatable goods and services and above the threshold of 25 million, but not remitting or not charging or remitting the VAT as the law requires. So with this initiative is a partnership that gives to MATAN, and MATAN then in turn gives to the FRS and to the nation by allowing access to their members, sensitizing them about the VAT and helping us to collect it, and in exchange the FRS will also attend to some of their pain points, because for a very long time now the informal sector has been out of sight of government. We have no data on them. We have no way of knowing what is going on there and how big it is. The World Bank and the IMF have told us that the size of Nigeria's informal sector is 80% of the business economy, and which means that it's only 20% of the Nigerian economy that is formal, and it's from that 20% that we've been getting all our taxes, because hitherto we have not been able to access any taxes at all from the informal sector, even though they're supposed to be paying. So through this initiative, we hope to change that narrative. We hope to expand the tax net, increase revenues by simplifying the payment of VAT using their own umbrella association, who understand their language, and with the partnership we're able to also solve some of their problems in exchange for their, collaboration. Yeah. So that's what the VAT Direct Initiative is.
Interesting start there, Dr. Ononuga. But while I would also want to know the role of MATAN, I would also ask how this would help address issues of multiple taxation and illegal tax collection in our markets.
So as you are aware, there's an approved list of taxes for the local governments, for the state government, and for the federal. And at the moment, the Joint Tax Board is the body that looks after the states and local government taxes. It has the responsibility or mandate to harmonize taxes at the state and local government levels, while the Federal Inland Revenue Service collects taxes for the federal taxes. But what has happened is that over time there has been a lot of self-imposed tax collectors operating at the local and state government levels, and some of them even attempt to collect some federal taxes, especially the VAT, by printing fake receipts. And this has been troubling the traders, because they suffer it in the market, Sometimes they have their goods destroyed or their shops shut down by the aggressive nature and violence caused by these self-imposed tax collectors. So they have no way of knowing which ones are legit and which ones are illegal, and they have been crying out to the government to do something about this multiple taxation. Now, through this VAT Direct Initiative, the federal government is undertaking to work with law enforcement agencies, which it is empowered to do in our Establishment Act, to form teams, enforcement teams with MATAN and the law enforcement agencies, and as well as the JTB, to combat the activities of touts and self-imposed tax collectors who are illegal in the marketplace, thereby bringing some form of sanity to the marketplaces, helping the traders with the ease of doing business, so that, and hopefully even reduce the cost of goods and services in the market, because what happens is that the more this illegal tax collection activity persists, the more the cost of goods goes up, because the traders have to recoup whatever they have been paying, fairly unjustly to these illegal collectors. And also because that money does not go into government coffers, there's no way government can fulfill her social contract of also providing the facilities and the amenities that are required in the marketplace. So through the VAT Direct Initiative, FIRS will be forming enforcement teams with the MATAN agents, MATAN as market traders themselves, and which will combat and bring some sanity to the marketplace, and so reduce that multiple taxation so that only legal taxes are collecting. Secondly, it will also lay a foundation towards the harmonization of taxes in the country, as well as at the same time expanding the tax net and increasing revenue that is available to local government, state government, and federal government.
Doc, you just answered my next question, because I was going to ask you how would this help improve revenue generation. But what about the benefits of these initiatives to traders? Can we highlight some of them?
So to the traders?
Yes, please.
You're talking about benefits to the traders?
Yes, please.
Okay. So to the traders, well, one of the main benefits, like I just highlighted, is the curbing of illegal taxation, multiple taxes that they have to pay on a daily basis in the marketplace, thereby bringing some sanity and also security. But MATAN, we're leveraging on MATAN's existing platform for enumeration. So enumeration gives them a digital identity. That means that they are immediately visible to government. They immediately become eligible for certain incentives and benefits, such as free insurance. If the markets were to burn down, which we witness from now, from time to time, they would be able to claim on the insurance and be able to start again, unlike before, when there was no help at all available when such disasters strike. They also would have access to some free legal services, which we are supporting MATAN, that is their umbrella body, to provide for them. Access to clinics, HMOs, and access to soft loans from the bank to enable them either start up a business or expand their businesses when they need it. And also assistance with just government services generally, because they are now visible to government through that digital identity that the scheme gives them. These are just some of the incentives, and we're working with MATAN to ensure that just the market environment, doing business in our markets is better and more lucrative for the trader, and in turn our cost of goods or services that we obtain from the market stays stable. That's just some of the benefits. Yeah,
Compliance is key. How will the FIRS ensure that Matan complies?
Okay, so that's the beauty of this VAT Direct Initiative, that it is a collaboration. Having signed an MOU, that means that it's a voluntary collaboration by the market traders. So they are not being coerced, they are not being forced. They came forward, they expressed all their problems, their pain points, and FIRS responded to that need. So Matan knows their members. Matan is going to be the primary enforcer of this because they want this. Do you understand? It's their way of saying to the government that, look, we want to be included in governance. We want to be seen. We want you to address these issues that we have. And in exchange, we will perform our own civic responsibilities by paying the taxes that are due to the government. So the Matan body and management and Exco themselves are going to enforce their members because they know them and they understand their language, they know how to get them. Recall that they already they have over 40 million members and they have been, enumeration has been going on. In the past, they have been enumerating maybe manually. We are going to assist them with the IT tools to do that digitally, and then also with the development of their platform, they now get that digital identity. So the members are happy. They have welcomed the initiative. They are willing to comply. They want to work with government, and it's a good thing. I think, for the nation.
Should the federal government be collecting taxes from markets when the market levies are exclusive taxes due to local government councils? Are you sure there won't be conflict of interest here?
Absolutely not, Tolu. There is no conflict of interest here. Like I said at the beginning, there is an approved list of taxes that are due to the local governments. There is a list due to the state government, and there is a list due to be collected by the federal government. The FIRS is empowered to collect taxes by Section 8 of the VAT Act from individuals. That's the VAT specifically. Now we're talking about VAT. So FIRS is empowered to collect VAT from individuals, trusts, enterprises, corporate organizations, and even NGOs, so long as they are carrying on business in goods and services that are VATable. So FIRS has jurisdiction to every individual business enterprise across Nigeria who is carrying on business in VATable goods and services to collect the VAT. So there is no confusion about what FIRS is doing, or neither will there be. And also, let me just, I'm sure you are aware that the chairman of the FIRS is also the chairman of JTB. That's the Joint Tax Board. So they, being that as it may, there's no way that the FIRS will do anything that will be conflicting with the states or the local governments or contradictory to what the law permits. So FIRS is well within her rights to collect VAT from any individual, whether in the marketplace or outside the marketplace. Even non-residents are liable to pay VAT when they sell into Nigeria by reason of the definition of the value-added tax.
Interesting stuff. Well, now, what are the VATable goods and services that Matan members are expected to collect and remit VAT on? Or are there any categories of traders who will be exempted from this initiative?
Yes, so the VAT Act stipulates a threshold of 25 million turnover before you are eligible to now begin to actually charge the VAT and to collect it from those who buy your services or goods from you. So traders who are micro they are going to be categorized into micro. That means that they are below 25 million threshold. They will not need to charge or collect the VAT. The burden of the VAT does not fall on those who buy from them, so they are not under any obligation to actually pay the VAT. But those whose turnover is above 25 million, those are the ones who have a responsibility under the law to actually charge a VAT on what they sell and to remit that to the government. Then you have the micro, the small, the medium, and the large taxpayers according to their turnover. So all this, FIRS is working with MATAN to categorize their taxpayers so that we know those who are eligible to pay VAT and those who are not. And then secondly, there are exempt goods and services, because if we want to look at the number of goods that are not exempt, that list is much longer. So you look at it from the perspective of, okay, what is exempt? So what is exempt? Basic food items, for instance, are exempt from VAT. Medical services are exempt. Educational services, just these broad categories of goods and services that are exempt from the VAT. Therefore, we are not going after the very small food sellers in the market when you say marketplace, but understand that in that same marketplace, there are very big players that deal in goods such as gold, such as other precious stones. They deal in expensive fabrics and textiles. They deal in electronics and phones, and stuff like that. And because they are informal in the sense that, one, they are not properly registered and they are not known to the tax authorities, so they are under the radar as informal. So now we're saying that, okay, through this VAT Direct Initiative, we will be enumerating them, and therefore that gives us very valuable data that we can now begin to look at and analyze. Data is very key to planning, even at the local government levels, state level, and the federal level. So with that data, we will be able to have insight into what is really, really going on in the marketplace. Who are the people who should be remitting VAT and are not remitting? Who are the people whose businesses are big enough and they are able to be registered formally, so we'll be able to do that. So this is just laying the foundation, which is going to start with, give FIRS insight into that, the informal sector through this enumeration, sensitization we're doing. At the stage we are at now is sensitization and enumeration.
Interesting conversation, but time is really fast spent. Let's wrap up on this note. Now, how would the deployment of technology help work this initiative? And also, is this initiative short or long-term?
Well, like I said earlier, what is driving this is that FIRS is simply leveraging on the technology that MATAN already has. They already have a platform where they are enumerating their members. So that FIRS is going to work with MATAN to fine-tune that technology so that it gives enough data to be able to know, for us to be able to analyze that data. So there's going to be a handshake between that technology and FIRS technology tax platform, whereby we'll be able to have visibility on, who is a trader in the marketplace, who is a member of MATAN. We'll be able to now analyze that information to know who is eligible to actually pay taxes and who is not, who is dealing in what services, who is not. So it's a technology that's already exists. The MATAN is already deployed it. They're already using it to enumerate their members. FIRS is simply leveraging on it. They're using it for JTB to help them to collect PIT, that's personal income taxes. So that technology already exists, and FIRS is simply going to be leveraging on it. I don't know if I have answered, all of your questions. I think there was something else.
In 1 minute, is it a short or long-term project?
This is a long-term project because we are talking about over 40 million members.
Yeah.
40 million members who make up the business community, informal business community, or members of MATAN. Therefore, one, enumeration is going to be a long-term thing. Everything we're doing has to be long-term so that the benefits can be felt by government. But I can assure you that it is an initiative that is set to change the narrative of the Nigerian tax system.
We'll keep a tab on you and have you subsequently for updates on this initiative. I must thank you so much, Dr. Lovett Ononuga, Director of VAT Department at the FIRS, for your brilliant submissions on the topic of discourse. Do have a great weekend.
Thank you very much.